harm to you. That's their own choice, without having to be enticed by your own mistakes. So we tend to look more on our situation in the first place, the origin of the problem. But if we did things, if we were right ourselves and didn't give grounds to this international community, maybe they wouldn't be blamed or pointed or having our fingers pointed at them. So, and for the people who are all over the place who committed or they are there, we have interacted with those people that hosted them. I've done it for many years. Some efforts have succeeded, most of them have not. But those people and whatever is happening should not stop our lives running the way our lives should run. So that is this mainly comes up when questions like you have raised come up from other people, but they don't occupy us on a daily basis thinking about them. Yeah.
A good example is by President Clinton. Did you touch this issue considering that the US is among the countries who can't name it properly? Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, we had broad discussions with former President Bill Clinton and his delegation. The delegation, United States sent a delegation here to be with us on this 30th Kwibuka, and they decided to designate the delegation. So we had that one was an element of discussion, but among many other more important things. For me, not so long ago, maybe 2015 or something, or 14, we get messages from and that time we received on one hand Kwibuka and sympathizing with us and so on and so forth, which was correct. And then another part was democracy, human rights, freedom, at all in our country. So our country actually wrote a letter back to the US. I'm the one who authored that. And I asked them, what I told them is twofold. One, I told them that United States or any government of any country have the freedom to tell us whatever they want to tell us, even if whether we are happy about it or not, that's no problem. And we're always going to absorb whatever is brought our way. But I also told the more important thing was, the second point for me was, but on this commemoration day, we are grateful when you commemorate with us. But for these other points you are trying to make to us, one ask that is important to us. In the letter we told them, feel free to commemorate with us if you want. And if people can and stop there. And there are 365 days in a year. Give us that. And then blaming us every day for everything you don't like about us. This or there. I thought it was a fair deal and a fair ask. These are come after and will come in the future. I have no problem.
Thank you, sir. Let's have another question, Al Jazeera. And then we'll come back to SABC.
Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Laith from Al Jazeera. Earlier in region be primitive based on ethnics. I'm in Rwanda only since a few weeks, and I noticed that the level of the stability in the country. And so my question is, how does Rwanda manage political strategy with the neighboring to maintain achievement since 1994? Thank you.
Thank you. There are priorities. Those are the ones we stick to. First, either to our history or even to our geography, and do the best we can, humanly can, to best they can give themselves, or working together we can offer each other, and it's socio-economic development, always adding to this, still no country in the world, the rest can go hang. So we try to find common interests beyond, well beyond. That we try as well. And in this we try to make sure that other people, when they have, without really, to also feel that partners, there and so forth, there's ownership of what we want to do, much as we work with others. And so we try that as much as possible. But of course, there will be where the problems are originating from us, and we try to address them. When problems are coming from those others we have to relate with, we also very clearly let them know what we think those problems are that we are being affected by, and if they can change, then it improves our relationship. So we've really done a lot, at least made progress, invested a lot in trying to resolve our internal issues. We still have a lot. The country needs to do more, do better all the time, but we have made good progress. So what we have in the region currently, and which maybe refers to part of what you said about primitive politics, I said that relating to what situation we have in our region, and what we had in Rwanda ourselves back in the years. which we have overcome and continue to make sure that we keep moving forward, is politics that seeks to divide the people either of a country or a region. In fact, based on ethnic or religious or other reasons, you cannot govern effectively and stably. You can't have stability when you divide people, when you discriminate people, when you and this is, I could not find a better word to run a society or a government on the basis of a division of tribes or ethnic groups or this, and in our case, having gone to the extreme even here in 94, as remember, it is, I could not find a better word other than being primitive. Primitive, you are not, how do you divide people, how do you practice sectarianism or racism or where do we see it in history that it has served well in a society? That's what I was referring to, because we have a lot of it in the region, especially in the recent days, as we have seen. So I was not only explaining that so that people may give it consideration to avoid very huge and costly problems that are born out of it.
Thank you, sir. SABC, Sophie.
Sorry. Sophie Mkwena from the South African Broadcasting Corporation. Mr. President, yesterday we spoke to President Cyril Ramaphosa, who said you had a marathon meeting on Saturday night. You also have the former South African president in the country who joined yesterday. Were you able to raise issues that we spoke about on Thursday in relation to Rwanda's relationship with South Africa, particularly the issue of the DRC? Thank you so much.
We could not have spent hours, the President of South Africa and I, meeting and definitely not talk about that. It featured it. And I think we had a very good discussion, very good understanding of the situation and maybe the best ways we can work together to resolve that. I was satisfied. So, and it seems your interview also helped. The discussion you had and the questions you asked maybe informed all of us and prepared us for that discussion. So we had even a reference point. So we definitely did discuss that, and I'm satisfied. I hope the President himself is satisfied that we can make good progress on a number of fronts to resolve the issues.
So if you allow, we can take one last question.
No, but I see many people here wanting to...
Okay. We can take Kagame and then come to...
No, but don't concentrate on people here. There are people from outside who are here. You are being sectarian.
Let's take Asahi and then... Let's take Asahi and then we'll take Margot. And then we can take from this side.
Okay, thank you, President. My name is Susumi Maizumi, working for Japanese newspaper Asahi. So, with regard to the presence of Asian country, including Japan, maybe especially Japan, so what kind of relationship would you like to build in the future with Asian countries?
We actually have very good relationship with the Asian countries, and a relationship that is very productive, that is very meaningful to our development as a country, and I hope meaningful to those countries as well from our side. So we do. And the good thing is, it's actually it's a healthier relationship with those Asian countries. They don't come with, well, some of them have started learning to do that, but largely it's respectful, it's very beneficial. They don't come with all kinds of demands that we must address like we have in some other types of relationships. So it's there, we want it to grow, and it's healthy.
Thank you, sir. We can take Margot and then somewhere in the back, and here, we'll come to you.
Good morning, Your Excellency, and thank you. I'm Margot Solinas from the French media ITEM, and I had two questions for you about, first, the French presidency leaked last Thursday a piece of the speech of Emmanuel Macron that he was supposed to pronounce yesterday, but the video that was actually released elsewhere and the speech didn't match with what was announced. Plus, Emmanuel Macron was supposed to come, and finally he cancelled. I wanted to know if whether there has been a problem because of the French position doesn't sound like really clear at the moment. And my second question is about the fact that Rwandese soldiers have been sent to Mozambique in 2021 in the aim to help and strengthen Mozambican and Rwandan relationship. But how did it also strengthen the relationship between Rwanda and France at the moment?
Right. As far as concerned, our relationship between Rwanda and France is good and has been good in the recent days. Of course, behind that, there is this long history of problems relating to what happened in our country in the last 30 years. So my feeling up to now is we've made progress. But there are still people maybe in the political and other structures of France that are held back by what happened in history. They are still living politically in the past. We can only be making progress on the basis of people who forward and we move forward together. So I don't know the proportions, who is this, who is that, I don't know. But to make the judgment, I think the people of France reasonable people and we can work together. Sometimes the politicians are the ones that are at issue. So I heard about that, the contradictions in the statements or this or watering down this, but that's all about it. I heard that happened, but I really, for me, I'm focused on the good things that can happen if we relate well and make progress. These small issues, I think, will be there, even if you are talking about the head of state having done this and that. But still, that's not for me to dwell on and talk about. Maybe when you get an opportunity and speak to him when you get back, you may ask him. He may give you a better answer than I am capable of giving you. But for us, we are still on the side of wanting to continue making progress, irrespective of the bad history we have had. For Mozambique, we got involved in Mozambique with the understanding and invitation of our brothers and sisters in Mozambique. And we've been there doing what we can and working with the Mozambicans to rein in the insecurity that was there for a couple of years. And I think good progress has been made also. How the French come into this, as you asked, maybe is related to what you might be having in mind because they have investments there. Like other countries have. In fact, there are many countries that have these investments, heavy investments in Mozambique. Either these countries working together and through their companies or different ways. Where it is France, it is the United States, it is India, it is Japan, it's Korea, it's there are many who are there working there. So naturally, the investments have to be made in a stable environment. And since we are there contributing to the stability of the area where these countries are making investment, we have discussions, we talk to each other. In our contribution and their investments there, we have good discussions and understanding of how we can continue to stabilize that area. That's the main thing they can say, France linking through Mozambique.
Thank you, sir. We take 3 more questions.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, we'll go with Francois and then David and then come to AP.
Good morning, Excellency. My name is Jean-François Dupaquier from Africa, Arabia. If you watch at the French-speaking press in recent days, you see a lot of articles in favor of Rwanda. Anyhow, there is often an incidental headline that asks the question, but who is Kagame really? The propaganda of your enemies, particularly in Congo, describe you as a cruel and bloodthirsty tyrant. Do you try to change this image? For example, in most of your official photographs, you look severe and distant. This can contribute to fueling controversy. Why don't you wear a slight smile like all your fellow presidents around the world? Do you ultimately like or dislike being fed, sometimes hated, in the Western world? Thank you.
Good. I think think you have summarized well the questions that have been there but not asked directly. But for the smile, I think I have to borrow either some talent or actually directly the smile from some people. But the fact that it is the smile is lacking on me is not my making. Maybe it happens accidentally. But very interesting way of putting your question. I try to answer it this way. Starting with who is me, who is the person. I have me is the person you see. I'm not hiding anything. What you see in me is what I am. If you are just going by the looks or by whatever, or what I do more, I think is what may describe me than my physical looks. So I wanted to say what you see is what you get with me. In most cases, in words or in deeds, they relate. My deeds and my words tend to relate. My looks may be different from that, may be different from my deeds and how I think. But in any case, isn't the description of the looks also subjective? There are people who see me as through the looks as a terrible person. There might be others who say, after all, there's nothing bad looking like that. So it's subjective. But to the point you're making about tyrant or cruel or... You see, you can't be bad to that extent. Cruel or a tyrant or bloodthirsty or whatever, and hide it. It's difficult. Even if you try to hide it, there is a moment it betrays you. And that also, once it has come out or once it is not there, you register the feeling, the description, from people who have to deal with you. If I was some of the things people have said about me or described me as, I mean, the judgment is out there, either for the people of this country or other people somewhere else. And it wouldn't just be confined to the press, because the press is full of individuals. But these individuals don't add up to a population that is as big as Rwanda's, even if Rwanda is very small. These are just individuals. 5 in France, 10 in America, 3 in China, 2 in Belgium, and so on and so forth. If you add all of them up, and they are even all negative and saying things about me, surely these can't be the people that are right and the rest wrong. But they only take advantage of the platform they have, of able to command some voice that they put out there for people to, even people who don't know what you're talking. There are many people who even don't know about Kagame and get to know him by what a journalist has said, or the one in the press has said. And in many cases, in my experience, some of them have started by hearing what the journalist said, and they ended up saying, but we've been told lies, when they come to know this through other means, either by direct contact or visit or whatever, and interaction with other people who know this person that has been talked about. They may say, this person told us lies. And consistently over many years has been telling us lies. What we saw, what we heard, whether it is this city, whether it is a person, whether it is this, they say no, but what we are being told is completely different from what we have seen or experienced. So, and of course there is a particularity with the Western press. The Western press, you will find out there are things that were said about this country 30 years ago, 25 years ago, that are being repeated now, which means, according to them, nothing has changed. They talk about Rwanda, very poor population. We are poor. We are not where the developed countries are, for sure. But this poverty, the way it was in 1995, in 2000, is not the way it is in 2024. But somebody will keep writing in the press, like what we have today is the same thing as we had 25 years ago, and keep just rubbing it in. You know, even the Kagame and his looks and so on, I've been trying, in recent days I've been trying with a smile. Maybe it's not a good smile, but I've been trying. So the Kagame you saw in 95, in 94, 2000, anyway, there was no smile. There was nothing to smile about, so I didn't smile. But now, with some progress, I can afford some smile once in a while. So, if somebody thinks, like that, I've even grown gray hair. Last time I had black, my hair was black, now it is gray. It is actually disappearing. I may be bald. So if you think the Kagame you saw 20 years ago is the same now, no, it is a misrepresentation. But even then, that time, I looked different, and the press may not have liked the way I look, like. But the situation that time maybe looked like that itself. So I can't be in a heap of dirt and then I'm smiling. I mean, that's a lie. I would be a liar. I would be pretending. I would actually be having some problems with me to pretend that everything is okay around me when everything is bad. So, finally, the Kagame you see, or there, or you like, or you don't like, is going to be there anyway. I don't need anybody to like me or to hate me to live my life. I live my life whether they like me or you don't like me. And I have my views, I express them, I do things, so I owe my living to not a single individual or country, even if powerful ones. No, we are all human beings created, sometimes they say by God, I don't know, maybe we are there for something. But so for somebody to have powers over me, that one I can tell you is not possible. Even the most powerful didn't create me. Who created them, first of all? And we are all here just temporarily. If we are lucky, we live up to 100 years. Those are the luckiest. You know? So the one who is saying all that has also his time, and he'll go like all of us. Everyone has their day. So that's why I can't accept that anyone has powers over somebody else to the point of dictating. Even the most powerful don't have power over us, how we live, how we do. So, but the Kagame has been shaped by that philosophy, that understanding, that well, I try like any human being and do my best, do what I can do what I have to do. I may have flaws, make mistakes, own up and do good things, benefit others. And so I'm that person. Tell those people that actually to know me is not complicated. It's straightforward. It's me. Then other things we can discuss on the side. But that was a very powerful question.
Thank you, sir. We can take from Amo, who's just next to Francois. And then...
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. Amo Kanampili from AFP. My question is about the March 23 movement in Eastern DRC. Your government has previously denied backing the movement. Does that denial still stand a year and a half later? And what is the current relationship between Rwanda's government and the M23? Thank you.
Well, those who accuse us, I would ask them why they actually don't support M23 themselves, including AFP, you as a journalist. Why don't you support M23? Or why is the question, you support M23 or you don't support M23? First of all, what is M23? M23 is an organization born in and out of Congo. That's number one. Number two, these are Congolese. And you will hear even Congo admit it. Now, why do they exist? Why are they fighting? Why do they have arms? It's another question. It is also a simple question. They exist because they have been denied their rights as citizens of that country. They are called Tutsis of Rwanda. Fine. But then you need to be educated also a little bit about history. We have Rwandan communities in Congo who are Congolese, and by the way, these are not just Tutsis, it is the same social structure of of a country that is also there in the Congo. Like, in fact, we have other neighboring countries where they are, but they are citizens of those countries. We have 100,000 people originating from this community, 100,000 who have been living here in Rwanda in refugee camps for the last 2 decades. Why? Because they are being uprooted from their ancestral homes, persecuted, and sent across. In fact, there are more in Uganda. There are 300, there's 100,000 here, there are hundreds of thousands there in Uganda, more numbers. So M23 is born out of that situation. That's why I asked the question. I said, well, why wouldn't anybody else, why are we being accused as Rwanda of supporting M23? And I'm saying even those who accuse us, actually I should accuse them of not supporting M23 because it is as if they agree with the injustice that is being done to this community. Otherwise, if you didn't agree with that injustice, you would be actually raising questions. Why are these people of M23 being treated like this? Why are we having 100,000 refugees here in Rwanda? That's where you would start from. Not start from asking Rwanda, are you supporting M23 or not? Are you still denying it? Because you are asking the wrong question. The issue is not whether anybody supports M23 or not. The issue is, what is actually the problem of M23? That's the question you should have asked, in fact. What is the problem? What is this thing called M23? Are they human beings? Are they this? Are they Rwandans? Are they Congolese? Are they that? Why? Why do they exist? Why do they even have arms and are fighting in their own country? This is the right question that I should be asked. So whether Rwanda supports or associated in any way is actually immaterial. It is irrelevant to the question. Or even you, if you want to educate yourself or educate the public, the question should have been simple. Ask me, by the way, what do you understand the M23 to be? What is it? That's a fair question. That's the one I would wish to be associated with rather than whether I support or not support.
So we may take the last question, David.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Dupac talked about the image. I've been traveling through the continent, and the majority of the youth, I think, don't want you to remain the way you are. Because Rwanda means for them hope, but more than that, a new school of political thought, a new school of doing things, a new school of making politics and transforming our society for the best, for peace, stability, and economical progress. For the past 30 years, you have succeeded to build a modern state, offering to Rwandese people a safe space to build their own lives and achieve their personal dreams. How do you see Rwanda for the 30 others coming years?
Well, we keep making progress and be where others are that they have even taken for granted. And when you see developed countries, why can't Rwanda or Africa develop to that extent or beyond? What is lacking? So, but what you have to deal with is the right politics in place, management of society and enabling society to do what they need or have to do to take them to a much higher level in terms of development than where they are. So really that is the aspiration for all of us, even as leaders, and I'm sure individual Rwandans, everyone wants to see development. They want to see us, because we are human beings. Human beings, we can't have allow this disparity, and some have been designated to remain backward, poor, undeveloped, and yet we are sitting on immense resources that actually other people who are developed are coming to help themselves with and taking away. And for us, we are there watching and not doing anything about it. So the Rwanda of the next 30 years should be maybe 3, 4, 5 times better than what you see now. 30 years from our graves to being here, I think another 30 years. We are not coming from the graves. This time we are coming from some level of progress that we have made.
Thank you, sir. We may conclude here.
Right.
I would like to thank you for your time with us and wish you a good day.
Unfortunately, I couldn't take all the questions, but I'm happy to meet you another time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
saa sita n'iminota 48 nibwo tuje kubagezaho amakuru agezweho muri aya masaha kuko mwakurikiranaga ikiganiro umukuru w'igihugu Paul Kagame yagiranaga n'abanyamakuru kibanze ku ngingo zitandukanye. Nacyo tuza kwibandaho cyane. Perezida Paul Kagame akaba yagaragaje ko umuryango mpuzamahanga wagize uruhare mu mateka y'u Rwanda, ariko ko hari amasomo byasize ko abanyarwanda aribo bakwiye kwiyitaho mbere y'abandi bose. Turi buze kureba n'izindi ngingo zaganiriweho muri iki kiganiro. Turi buze no kujya mu yandi makuru arebana no kwibuka ku nshuro ya 30 jenoside yakorewe abatutsi, abakomeje kohereza ubutumwa bwo kwifatanya n'abanyarwanda muri iki gihe rwibuka ku nshuro ya 30. Turi buze no kujya mu burengerazuba bw'u Rwanda, jenoside yakorewe abatutsi kirangira, ababyeyi basigaye ari abapfakazi nibo bafashe ya mbere barera abana b'imfubyi bari basigaye nta babyeyi bafite. Nabyo turi buze kubyumva. Turi buze no kuvuga ku bijyanye n'imibanire hagati y'u Rwanda na Korea y'Epfo.
Mu yandi makuru hanze y'u Rwanda tuzakora ko mu gihugu cya Mozambique abamaze kumenyekana ko bapfuye bazize impanuka y'ubwato wa 96 mu bwato bwari butwaye abantu bagera ku 130. Ni mu gihe muri Sierra Leone perezida w'icyo gihugu Julius Maada Bio yatangaje ko hari izamuka rikabije ry'ikoreshwa ry'ibiyobyabwenge bizwi ku izina rya kushe muri icyo gihugu, ikaba ikibazo gihangayikishije igihugu cyane. Naho kuri uyu wa mbere majyaruguru ya Amerika araza kwibasirwa n'ubwira kabiri bw'izuba budasanzwe, bukaza kuba buracyategerejwe cyane. Naho nanone kuri uyu wa mbere habwo hatangira urubanza ku madosiye yiswe Panama Papers nyuma y'imyaka 8 hamenyekanye yuko izo mpapuro zijyanye no guhisha no kunyereza imisoro zigiye ahagaragara. Ni mu gihe mu Faransa umuyobozi w'umujyi wa Avalon yitwa Jamila Habaswai ejo yatawe muri yombi na polisi y'icyo gihugu nyuma yuko mu rugo rwe hatahuwe ibiro 70 by'urumogi, akaba yarafatanywe n'abasaza be babiri. Ni gihe muri Guatemala mu minisitiri yirukanwe kubera gukoresha nabi umutungo wa leta.
Yego, abadukurikiye aho bari hose bohereza ibitekerezo tubizaho amasoko bigenda bitugeraho mu kanya ni mu buryo burambuye.
Ikaze mu makuru ya Radio Rwanda ku buryo burambuye. Amakuru tugiye guhera by'umwihariko ku kiganiro perezida wa Repubulika y'u Rwanda Paul Kagame hamaze kugirana n'abanyamakuru bitangazamakuru bitandukanye biri byahani imbere mu gihugu ndetse n'ibyo ku isi yose bitandukanye. Ferdinand wakurikiye iby'iki kiganiro, ni ikiganiro kibanze ku zihe ngingo? Perezida yabajijwe ibiki, yagarutse ku biki?
Yego, nibyo ni ikiganiro kiba nyuma y'umunsi umwe hatangijwe icyumweru cy'icyunamo ndetse n'iminsi ijana yo kwibuka ku nshuro ya 30 jenoside yakorewe abatutsi. Perezida wa Repubulika Paul Kagame ko ari bivuze yaganiriye n'abanyamakuru yaba hano mu Rwanda ndetse n'abakora ibitangazamakuru mpuzamahanga baje muri kibazo cyo kwibuka ku nshuro ya 30 jenoside yakorewe abatutsi. Perezida Kagame akaba yavuze ko umuryango mpuzamahanga hari uruhare wagize mu mateka y'u Rwanda, ariko kandi ngo hari n'amasomo byasize ko abanyarwanda aribo bakwiye kwiyitaho mbere y'abandi. Yagaragaje ko umuryango mpuzamahanga uzakora ibintu bitanogeye, avuga ati uko niko kuri nibyo, ariko biba bigomba ni n'amahitamo yabo, ntibishyigikirwe ariko nanone ntibishyigikirwe n'amahitamo yawe.
Bavuga ko atari utahitamo nk'uko bahitamo.
Yego, bakora ibyo bumva bagomba gukora, ariko nanone ntibigomba kuba byaba amahitamo yawe ngo nawe ubigendereho. Ibingibi rero akaba yabigaragaje muri icyo kiganiro. Perezida Kagame yanavuze ko hakiri ibihugu byinangiye gutanga ubutabera ku bagize uruhare muri jenoside yakorewe abatutsi bari muri ibyo bihugu bakidegembya. Akaba yavuze ko hari abantu bari ahantu hatandukanye muri ibyo bihugu bagize uruhare muri jenoside, ndetse avuga ko u Rwanda rwavuganye n'abantu ubwo n'ibihugu bicumbikiye abo bakekwa kugira uruhare muri jenoside yakorewe abatutsi, kandi ibyo ngibyo byo kuvugana n'ibyo bihugu byakozwe imyaka myinshi. Yagaragaje ko hari ibyatanze umusaruro ndetse n'ibitarakunda, ndetse hari nabyo byinshi, ariko ashimangira ko abantu bakwiriye badakwiriye guhagarika ubuzima bw'abanyarwanda cyangwa se bagenda uko bugomba kuba bumeze, ahubwo abanyarwanda nibo bagomba nyine niba bafite ubuzima bwabo mu biganza byabo, nubwo hari icyo ibyo bihugu bicumbikiye bagize uruhare muri jenoside yakorewe abatutsi bitagira icyo bikora.
Yego, yanabajijwe ku bagipfobya jenoside ndetse bagerageza no kugoreka amateka.
Nibyo, ahangaha umunyamakuru yaramubajije ku magambo yaratangajwe n'umunyamabanga wa leta ushinzwe ububanyi n'amahanga muri Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika Anthony Blinken. Amagambo agaragaramo n'ubundi kugoreka amateka ya jenoside yakorewe abatutsi. Perezida Kagame rero akaba yavuze ko nyine u Rwanda rwakiriye amagambo ya Blinken yo gupfobya jenoside yakorewe abatutsi, ariko agaragaza ko ikibazo cy'uko iki gihugu ni ukuvuga Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika kinangira gukoresha inyito nyayo ya jenoside, ubundi ikibazo cyasubijwe kuva kera. Yashimangiye ko umurongo w'u Rwanda usobanutse, kandi ko abakigoreka amateka y'u Rwanda babisobanuriwe imyaka myinshi cyane. Ubwo ikibazo kiza aho ngaho nuko ibyo bihugu n'ubundi bitabyumva kinangiye. Yasobanuye ko nk'umwaka w'ibihumbi bibiri na cumi na kane na cumi na gatanu u Rwanda rwakiriye ubutumwa buva hirya no hino ku isi bwifatanya n'abanyarwanda mu kwibuka. Icyo gihe rwari rwarakiriye n'ubutumwa bwa Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika buvuga ko kwibuka no kwifatanya n'u Rwanda. Perezida Kagame avuga ko byana byiza, ariko ikindi kiba kirimo giherekeje n'ubwo butumwa ni ibijyanye n'uko bavuga demokarasi, uburenganzira bwa muntu, ubwisanzure n'ibindi byose batekereza ko u Rwanda rutarageraho, rudafite nk'uko babitekereza. Perezida Kagame yavuze ko yandikiye ibaruwa isubiza ibyo ngibyo byose, babwira ko biteguye kwakira ibyo u Rwanda rubwirwa, ariko ko narwo rufite icyo rusaba. Ahangaha Perezida Kagame niho yahereye atanga urugero rw'uko umwaka ugira iminsi 365, avuga ko nibura mu gihe u Rwanda ruri kwibuka jenoside yakorewe abatutsi ku itariki 7, uwo munsi bawuruharire, noneho bafatanye n'u Rwanda mu kwibuka, hatabayeho ibindi byo kuruvangira, abantu bavuga ibyo bashatse, bavuga jenoside yakorewe abatutsi ko bashatse, bagoreka amateka y'u Rwanda. Ahangaha n'urugero umukuru w'igihugu yatangaga. Yanagarutse ko kuba Amerika yorohereje intumwa muri iki gikorwa cyo kwibuka ku nshuro ya 30 jenoside yakorewe abatutsi. Bill Clinton urabizi yabaye perezida wa Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika, perezida wa 42 buriya jenoside yakorewe abatutsi yabaye nawe uyoboye Leta Zunze Ubumwe za Amerika. Perezida Kagame rero ko ibyo byose banabiganiriye. Ikindi cyagarutsweho muri Ikiganiro ni imibanire y'u Rwanda n'ibindi bihugu, cyane cyane wenda bituranye n'u Rwanda. Perezida Kagame akaba yagaragaje ko u Rwanda rwo rwita ku bibazo birureba imbere mu gihugu, kandi rugakora n'ibishoboka byose kugira ngo abaturage babone ibikenewe birimo n'iterambere ry'imibereho, gushyira hamwe ndetse bagire n'umutekano. Perezida Kagame yabisobanuye, aravuga ati ariko mu isi nta gihugu cyabaho cyonyine, akaba ariyo mpamvu habaho gukorana n'abandi barimo abafatanyabikorwa hirya no hino mu isi n'ibyo bihugu bituranye n'u Rwanda. Ariko agaragaza ko abafatanyabikorwa nabo bagomba gukora ibijyanye n'umurongo igihugu kiba cyariyemeje mu iterambere ry'abagituye. Avuga ko ibibazo nyine bireba u Rwanda rubifata nk'ibyarwo, kandi rukagishaka uburyo bwo kubikemura, n'ibindi bituruka handi nko mu karere nabwo bigashakirwa ibisubizo. Umunyamakuru yanamubajije ku bijyanye n'ibyo Perezida Kagame aherutse kuvuga ko muri mu bihugu byo muri akarere harimo primitive politics, ni nka politike zishaje zigendera ku moko. Umukuru w'igihugu yasobanuye ko politiki igamije gutandukanya abaturage mu gihugu cyangwa se abaturage mu gihugu cyangwa se igatandukanya ibihugu. Iyo ngiyo nta politiki irimo, nta mahoro yabaho mu gihe hari iyo politiki ivangura abantu ndetse ikanabaheza. Yongeye kubazwa ku bijyanye n'imibanire ya Afurika y'Epfo ndetse n'ikibazo cyo mu burasirazuba bwa Repubulika Iharanira Demokarasi ya Kongo. Urabizi ko hariyo n'ingabo za SADC. Perezida Kagame yagaragaje ko yagiranye ibiganiro na Perezida Cyril Ramaphosa wa Afurika y'Epfo, kuko nawe yari yaje kwifatanya n'abanyarwanda mu kwibuka ku nshuro ya 30 Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi. Bagiranye ibiganiro ku itariki 6 nimugoroba ubwo Perezida Ramaphosa yari ahageze. Perezida Kagame yavuze ko yishimiye ibiganiro yagiranye na Ramaphosa ku mibanire hagati y'ibihugu byombi ndetse n'ibera mu burasirazuba bwa Repubulika ya Demokarasi ya Kongo. Agaragaza ko hari imyumvire mishya ijyanye no gukemura ibyo bibazo.
Yanabajijwe nanone ku bijyanye no kuba u Rwanda rufasha M23.
Yego, iki kibazo yakibajijwe, ariko Perezida Kagame yashimangiye ko M23 ari abanyekongo mu bwoko bw'Abatutsi bavuga Ikinyarwanda, ariko baharanira uburenganzira bwabo n'imiryango yabo. Yagaragaje uburyo batotezwa na leta yabo. Ubu ngubu hakaba hari ibihumbi by'abaturage bahungiye mu bihugu bitandukanye birimo n'u Rwanda. Byose umukuru w'igihugu akaba yabigaragaje ubwo yari muri iki kiganiro n'abanyamakuru.
Yanongeye kubazwa ku bijyanye n'imibanire n'ibihugu bya Aziya. Umunyamakuru wo muri Aziya yabimubajije cyane cyane by'umwihariko mu Buyapani.
Yego, yabimubajije, ariko Perezida Kagame yashimangiye ko hari imibanire myiza n'ibihugu byo muri Aziya, ubwo n'ubufatanye byose bikagendera hamwe. Byose yabisobanuye. Agaruka nanone ku mibanire y'u Rwanda n'Ubufaransa uhereye mu bihe bya vuba, avuga ko ari myiza, ariko nanone hakaba hari amateka hagati y'ibihugu byombi n'uruhare rw'Ubufaransa muri Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi. Gusa ikiriho nuko hari intambwe irimo guterwa. Umunyamakuru yaranamubajije n'ibyatangajwe na Perezida Emmanuel Macron.
Ibyo Perezidansi yatangaje katari byo biri mu ijambo yavuze.
Yego, ubundi bigitangira Perezida w'Ubufaransa Emmanuel Macron yari yavuze ko Ubufaransa bwashoboraga guhagarika jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi bufatanyije n'ibindi bihugu byo mu burengerazuba bw'isi ndetse n'ibindi byo muri Afurika, ariko icyabuze ngo ni ubushake bwo kubikora nk'uko yari yatangaje mbere. Ariko ku munsi w'ejo, impamvu umunyamakuru yanavuze ko binatandukanye ndetse bikanagaragarira buri wese ko bitandukanye, nuko ku munsi w'ejo Perezida Emmanuel Macron yavuze ko atashoboye kuza i Kigali kwifatanya n'abanyarwanda mu gutangira icyumweru cy'icyunamo, ariko yifatanyije n'abanyarwanda muri ibi bihe bikomeye. Agaragaza ko ibi ari ibihe by'ingenzi mu mateka kandi ko abantu bakwiye kubivanamo amasomo, ndetse agaragaza ko nk'uko yabivuze ubwo yagiraga uruzinduko rwo mu Rwanda mu kwezi kwa 5 kwa 2021, adafite icyo yakongera ku byo yavuze icyo gihe, ndetse ashimira Perezida Kagame uburyo yamwakiriye. Ikirimo gitandukanye nuko ibyo yari yavuze muri iki cyumweru bitandukanye n'ibyo yavuze
yego ibiro bya Elise cyangwa se bya Perezidansi y'Ubufaransa byatangaje ibizaba biri muri iyo video. Bitangaza ku itariki 4, ariko video isa naho itandukanye n'ibyavugwaga. Hanyuma Ferdinand, mu yandi makuru n'ubundi tukiri ku ngingo yo kwibuka, abayobozi b'ibihugu bitandukanye cyangwa se abayobozi b'imiryango mpuzamahanga itandukanye bakomeje kwifatanya n'u Rwanda bohereza ubutumwa butandukanye. Urugero, Minisitiri w'Ububanyi n'Amahanga wa Canada Melanie Joly yakoresheje ubutumwa bwo gukomeza abanyarwanda mu bihe byo kwibuka ku nshuro ya 30 Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi mu Rwanda. Abinyujije ku rukuta rwe rwa X yavuze ko yifatanyije n'abanyarwanda mu guha icyubahiro abazize Jenoside yakorewe Abatutsi mu 1994 ndetse no gukomeza abayirokotse.
yego tugume kuri iyo ngingo ariko noneho twerekeze bwo rukomoje kuri Canada mu mujyi wa Ottawa
yego
hariya muri Canada nabo bemeje itariki ya 7 Mata ko na umunsi wo kwibuka jenoside yakorewe abatutsi mu Rwanda.
yego tugume kuri iyi ngingo noneho twerekeze mu karere kajye mu burengerazuba bw'u Rwanda mu karere ka Rusizi nabo ni kuri iyo ngingo n'ubundi nibyo jenoside yakorewe abatutsi mu mwaka w'1994 ikirangira ababyeyi basigaye abapfakazi nibo bafashe ya mbere barera abana b'imfubyi bari basigaye nta babyeyi bafite. Urugendo rero rwerekana ubutwari ubwitange kutirebaho n'urukundo ruhambaye abamwe ababyeyi bakavuga ko rutari rworoshye ariko barafashijwemo n'igihugu kitabatereranye kigashyiraho gahunda zitandukanye zo gufasha abarokotse. Francine Mutesi yaganiriye na bamwe muri ababyeyi bo mu turere twa Rusizi na Nyamasheke bamubwira ibikurikira.
ubwo twese uko yagiye adutoragura ntawe wavukanaga n'undi yadutoye turi benshi tugeze ku bana 10. yaraje yubaka akazu gato cyane turaza tukajyamo twararyamaga.
Turi mu rugo rwa Mutumwinka Josephine ruri mu kagari ka Shangi umurenge wa Shangi i Nyamasheke. Mu gihe cya jenoside yakorewe abatutsi uyu mubyeyi yari afite imyaka 32 y'amavuko ubu afite imyaka 62. Nyuma ya jenoside yareze abana 10 umwe gusa niwe wasigaye mu bo yabyaye abandi 9 n'imfubyi zari zimaze kurokoka. Mu ntangiriro kurera aba bana ngo ntibyari byoroshye.
Batatu n'aba musaza wanjye abandi 2 umwe ari wa muramukazi wanjye undi ari wa muramu wanjye uwanjye n'umwe hasigaye umukobwa nako nyine kari gatoyo ngo nabahekaga bombi no kubonsa nabosaga abana banjye ndabarera ariko ikiza nashimiye Imana nuko ntawe n'umwe twigeze tunyuza ukubiri. Imana yabampereye umugisha abana barahuza kugeza na n'uyu munsi.
Mukakayijuka Christine n'undi mubyeyi ufite imyaka 70 y'amavuko nawe bapfakajwe na jenoside yakorewe abatutsi atuye mu murenge wa Gihundwe i Rusizi. Nawe nyuma ya jenoside yareze abana 10 barimo abe n'abatarabe. Uyu mutima w'ubwitange no gufata inshingano zo kurera abana bari basigaye ntaho bari uyu mubyeyi avuga ko batabitekerejeho kabiri nubwo nta cyizere cy'ubuzima icyo gihe bari bafite.
Dukurikije ibyari bitubayeho tupfakaye dufite abana bakiri bato cyane wabonaga nyine utazashobora kubarera kandi n'ubuzima bw'imibereho bwari bugoye kuko abatwikiye bari badusahuye batwitse amazu mbega nta hantu turi. Ubwo rero umuntu yarirebaga akabona atazamara n'umwaka umwe rwose. None ariko kuko Imana ishobora byose tugeze kuri iyi myaka 30 duhumeka umwuka w'abazima turashima Imana cyane.
Nyuma y'imyaka 30 jenoside ihagaritswe abari abana barakuze ndetse barashatse barabyara bafite imiryango yabo. Nyiranzeyimana Constance umwe mu